One day, on a walk through the Dean, I pictured the walk in my mind as I did it. A walk is a length of time. A walk is an object. I wondered, as I wandered, what it would be like if I were to take this walk through Jesmond Dean and stitch it to every other walk through it I had done. I wondered, as I wandered, how they might stitch together. End to end was the first consideration, but that phrase is misleading, and surely would imply start to start as well. A walk has a direction. If I stitched all the walks I'd ever taken together, I'd like to end up somewhere different to where I'd began. I wondered about all the paths I hadn't taken on my walks, and stitched them on as well. I filled this walk of all walks with all the wildlife I had seen as I walked past. I filled it with the wildlife I had missed. The web of walks kept growing and growing, no longer a line of memories, but an abstract mesh, an Escher-esque entanglement of branching paths, fictional walk after fictional walk, bending backwards onto themselves and layering forever. At some point, I fell off the path. I fell off my walk and onto someone else's, I don't know whose. They may not have even had it yet, and maybe they never will. I continued on their walk as though it were any other walk. I wandered down the pathways. I wandered by the rivers. My mind wandered and returned with a memory of a piece of homework I'd received in my Year 9 English class. Follow a stranger for 3 hours. Note down what you observe. This was only the first part of what was to become an ongoing project. Our next task was to write 300 words to describe them to someone who had never seen them. Qualitative measures. How old were they? What did they look like? What sorts of things were they wearing? Where did they go to in those 3 hours? What were their mannerisms? What do they do for a living? What do they eat for lunch? What are their pet peeves? Two weeks after that, another 300 words, this time going beyond the immediacies and starting to create their past. What was it like for them growing up? What stories do they tell at the dinner table? What informed the decisions that they've taken in their life? The next 300 words were the hardest, gauging who they were through what they wanted to be. What do they think about when they wake up in the morning? What keeps them awake at night? What do they hope for? And what do they expect? What places do they wish they could visit? Who do they wish they could spend more time with? What was now a project spanning across multiple months had one final task. One more thing to do before our picture of this stranger could be complete. Simply this. Forget about them.